Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will be walking you through the design choices I made when designing my portable tic-tac-toe board. Unlike my first video, which was a step-by-step tutorial, this video will be more of an overview so that you can use it for your own purposes, but will still leave you with a challenge. With that said, let's get right into it. The first thing that I did when designing this board was to simply remove 2mm from the bottom. This was to reduce the printing time as well as to save a bit of material. After that, I added a lip to this box so that all the pieces would be held in place when the box was closed. This lip is also mirrored on the lid of the box. I also recessed the lid of the box a little bit, and this was simply because the pieces jutted out of the bottom a little bit, and this was to give them room to do so. After that, I began designing the hinges that the box would fold on. If I hide this hinge, you can see that some of these hinges are hollow, while other ones are solid. Both of these were designed very similarly, and if we go over here, we can go take a look at how I made them and the basic shapes that make them up. So, here we have the two leaves that I used when making my box, and the first thing that I did was started off with a roof shape that I rotated. This was because I wanted this model to be printed in place, and this roof allows me to not have any overhangs that would complicate the print. The neck shape that I dragged in was a tube, and the measurements I used for this was a radius of 3 and a wall thickness of 1.5. So from end to end, it's 6mm in diameter, but the hollow tube in the middle has a radius of 3. Now you can see that the roof and the tube overlap a little bit, and this would be a problem as it would connect with the pin and prevent it from rotating. In order to solve this, I simply used a cylinder that I set to be a hole and has a diameter of 3 that fits right in the center. When I group them all together, we get the hollow leaf. The other leaf that I used for this box was solid, and I accomplished this with these same shapes, but the cylinder was a hole in the middle. I also made it a little bit larger because I could really. The pin is over here, and as I said here, the inner radius of these leaves is 3mm, so the diameter of this pin is 2.4, so that there is room that it can rotate around and the printer does not have to worry about too close of tolerances. The last pieces that I designed and took me the longest time to perfect was this blue and yellow latch and lock. Once again, over here, I have the basic pieces copied and pasted so you can see how I made them. To make the lock, I simply used a cylinder which I set to be a hole, as well as a box. On the other side, we have a smaller cylinder. The reason why I elected to use cylinders was because I thought it would be easier to open and close the box with the rounded, smooth shape of a cylinder, as opposed to something like a roof, which would lock in place, but would be very hard to open potentially. The cylinder over here is twice as large as the locking cylinder, and this was because I wanted it to be easier to open, and it actually still closes quite tightly and needs a little bit of strength to open, which is perfect. Now, this locking piece over here was actually what gave me the most trouble. Once again, I have a roof on the bottom to avoid any overhangs, and I did not initially realize this, but this box here is to offset it from the lip. Without it, this piece would collide with that lip and you'd be unable to close the box effectively. So that is what that is for. The last change I made in my design was adding these 4 holes to the lid and bottom of my box. These are so if at any point this latch fails and breaks off, you could still use a rubber band to hold the box closed, and these grooves will stop the rubber band from rolling away or falling off. And that's how I designed my 3D printable tic-tac-toe board. I hope that this video will help you to design your own, or if you are interested, you can simply download my copy from Thingiverse for free. The link will be in the video in the description. Either way, thanks for watching and have a great day.